Discussion going on here, the students too. So I will make it on a lighter note. First of all, let us start. I was a little confused. Then it got clear though through your lectures whether it is gender empowerment or gender equality. If it is gender empowerment, as far as medical technology terminology goes, there are three kinds of genders. There are males, there are females, and there are the third gender, the transgender. So are we taking all into account? I was discussing with your chancellor here sitting, but then some of it got addressed though through the beautiful lecture, very authoritative by the vice chancellor and also Professor Sneha Manjuri. So I will take it a little lighter. If we take it that we are really talking about the empowerment of women, educating of women, then this is my feeling. যুদ্ধ জয়ের ঘোষণা তোমার শুনেছে প্রথম আজানে, ভ্রুকুটি মাখানো ললাট তোমায় দেখেছে সন্ধি পুজোর আগুনে, জয় পরাজয় চরণ ছুঁয়েছে, প্রতিষ্ঠা করেছে স্বমহিমায়, তুমি তন্নি চিরনবীনা, বিশ্বজয়ী বীরাঙ্গনা, ঘরের কোণে উঠোনে বাগানে তুমি আমার সবার মা. The only thing that women can do and men can't do, whether you're the chancellor, whether you're the vice chancellor, science hasn't yet taken you forward to carry babies. So we are hands down ahead of you. Women are hands down because they carry babies, they bring up babies, they nurture babies, and the future of the society depends in the hand of the woman, because the woman carries forward the legacy of the society. Now, as Professor Shurangyan Das was saying, it has also been brought forward that the fight for equal payment was taken forward by none other than a lady in Germany, Clara Jetkins. She fought for it, and today whatever payment we are getting, the women, wherever we are working, is because of Clara Jetkins. You will be astonished to know that, like he said, he again said, but he didn't take the name, Emily Pankhurst was the woman who sat outside the British Parliament asking for equal rights to vote. At that time, in the 18th, 19th century, women were not allowed to cast their franchise. So it's not that we are lagging behind in India. It was there even in the Western countries. And through the effort of women, through the effort of these women who fought, we have gained where we are today. So if it is gender studies, if it is studies with which we are going to take women forward, as I understand from your topic that gender empowerment, rather we can say that we are still not equal. The women, whatever fight we have done, whatever distance we have covered, it's a long way to go. It's still a long way to go, because where I come from, where I work now, my office, that is the Parliament House, you see, even after a lot of sound, a lot of debate, discourse, discussion, all the other political parties put together have women members to the tune of 10%. There is one political party, a lot of discussion is going on against that political party, against the leadership, but that party has put 35% of women inside the parliament, out of which I am there, one of the 35, and even where the women were fielded to fight, I'm not doing politics here, so there is nothing to smirk. 35% women were fielded on the road to fight the heat last year at 44-46 degree temperature, and we were not placed against other women. We were placed in general seats to fight against men, and 33% of them have gone to the citadel of democracy. It's known as the citadel of democracy because the laws are formulated there. The laws are passed. Which laws govern the country? We all have to follow laws, and we would request everybody else in the country to look up and at least if not 50, have 30% women everywhere. Like, just now I was introduced to this madam from Suda. She's looking after a very important department. So she's been thought to be fit enough to look after that department there. Unless we change our mindset. Now, how do we change our mindset? I would request, I think it was mentioned by somebody, that who is the first person to be sensitized in a family of married women to have their rights? It is the mother-in-law, but not mother-in-law like me, because my daughters-in-law trample over my head. They dominate me, not like me, but other kinds of mother-in-law. They have to be sensitized, because it is the mother-in-law who doesn't realize that the daughter-in-law in her womb is carrying her future. She doesn't give enough food to the daughter-in-law. She doesn't give enough liberty to the daughter-in-law. She doesn't give enough education. She doesn't allow. And I don't know whether Madam Basu knows here, but other people, whether you know, in Nepal, these committees, they don't go to the women to teach them about empowerment. The women's committees, I attended a United Nations conference where they were there. These women's committees, they go to the mothers-in-law. They have meetings with the mothers-in-law, explaining the seriousness that it is the daughter-in-law who needs your attention for having nutritious food when she's pregnant. Because it is not for her, it is for your progeny, it is for your family. So, sensitization of the mother-in-laws, the mothers, is very important. And if we are looking at sensitizing women, as I said, mothers-in-law, mothers, other family members, you see, there might be more women in the family, and out of them, one is educated enough or trying to get educated, the others are not. Then even they might be deterrent to the education of this girl. So it is the women of the family who should be actually sensitized. And it's a great move that Adams University is trying, and has already, I should be trying, is already on the path towards a great achievement. When you have these adopted villages where you go to the women, they have to be educated. There are 2 or 3 major points. One is education. Without education, without proper education, we don't see the future, we cannot fight the present. That is the basic education. I'm not talking about postgraduates, or I'm not talking about PhDs. It is the traditional education. It is the basic education, the social education, which tells you that you have to maintain your tradition. You might be, however educated, you cannot forget your tradition. Tradition holds the society together. Just because I'm educated, I'm just giving an example. I stopped putting sindoor. I don't wear a shakha because I'm liberated. That harms the tradition, that harms the backbone of the society, that harms the values. You have to respect the values, your own country's values, your own religious values. It might be any religion. Religion is absolutely my own perspective. It is my own. It is not for somebody else to dictate what I will do. But I will be allowed, and I should be allowed, and I will practice my own way, my social norms, my religion, my tradition. That should be included in the education. Second is food. You see, without proper nutrition, no body can thrive, no human being can grow, and no brain will function. What kind of food? It is the natural foods. I have a parliamentary discourse which is viral on YouTube. 3, 4, 5 years back maybe, I was talking about natural foods, and it was appreciated throughout the world. When I'm so proud that in the last 3-4 years, the government is promoting millets, natural foods. That was our country's foods. If we take natural foods, it's full of vitamins. Now, if you look up the YouTube, even Western countries are promoting natural foods, fruits, vegetables. It helps you grow. But the food that we get on the road might be tasty, but it doesn't help you grow because it is so much passing through so much high temperature and so much of oil, so much of masala. I'm absolutely going to the ground level that natural foods give you the strength to fight. What do you have to fight? You have to fight society. You have to fight in your workplace. You have to fight yourself when you're studying. Now, mostly women have to work at home and outside. Just because you're working outside, you're earning outside, you are not left alone that you can do away with your domestic chores. No. Even in the house, you have to work. So to do so much of hard work, women have to be strong. They have to be strong physically. So you have to do exercises. Whether you do yoga, whether you do freehand, whether you do running about, you do swimming, whichever. Your cardiac output, I'm a doctor also. Your cardiac output should so strong that, little bit of taunting, little bit of bad behavior doesn't throw it into tamponade. So you have to do exercise. First you eat. World Health Organization gives us a statistics. Whole of the world has seen the women are last to eat and least to eat. This is the sentence. Now, how are they last to eat? I travel in villages every day. 5, 10, 7 hours in the villages. So the woman, she gets up in the morning, she cleans the house, a village woman. She cleans out her cow shed. Then she makes the food. First serves her in-laws, serves her children, serves her husband. After that, she gives food and water, the fodder, to the cows in the shade. Then they might be having some goats. So after all this, she is the last to eat. And by the time she gets time to eat, then there is very little left. So least to eat. This is a World Health Organization report. And India has 70% of women suffering from anemia. Why? Because they're the last to eat and they don't get the protein. I think our Vice Chancellor here was saying that the more protein goes, the share goes to the boy. That is true. The protein share goes to the boy. So the mother gives it. So the mother has to be sensitized. So I would rather have that when you are going through the villages, like Nepal, they do in Nepal that sensitize the mothers, the mothers-in-law, not only mother-in-law, even the mother. Because they feel that my boy is going to grow up and look after me. My daughter is going to go away to another family. But nowadays we find that the daughters look after their parents more and my daughters-in-law look after me more than the sons. Because the sons have so much of ambition. They don't have time to pay attention in the house. And they are equal. What difference is there? They are physically equal if they look after themselves. They are mentally equal if they are trained and educated. So one is the education, second is the food. And then I would also request Sneha Manjari Di. I will call you Sneha Manjari, okay? I don't know, I'm 66 years old. Are you older to me? No, you must be younger to me. I would read out another little bit from another of my writing to sensitize the gentlemen students here. Because it is their active participation to maintain the norms of the society. Please mind me if this sounds rude. I call it Chinnamasta. চিৎকার ও আকাশ দিদা হও আমি বাষ্প হতে চাই চিৎকার ও ধরিত্রী মা, জল হতে চাই, ঠাঁই দাও মাতা পিতা হয়ে বুকে করে নাও। এত আক্রোশ, এত পশুত্ব, না না পশুরাই ব্যথাতে নেই, মন দেওয়া নেওয়া, কখনো লড়াই, সমানে সমানে প্রভুত্ব কার্তাই। এত হিংস্রতা পশুর চেয়েও কোথায় পেলে গো প্রিয়? প্রিয়া হতে চেয়ে যুগ যুগান্তে ছিলাম ও আছি জানো। যুবকের পরে শ্রান্ত আধারে চতুর্দেশের চাঁদ, হাত ধরো চলো পার করি দুস্তর পারাবার। সংগ্রামে আছি জীবনে মরণে ভাগ করে নিতে চাই, সহস্র চড়াই উতরাই। কেন তবে এত হিংস্র, কেন সংহারে মেথে ওটা, করে জর্জরিত রক্তক্ষরণে বাহুবলে বোঝাপড়া, ভোগ্যপন্ন করো ছিন্ন ভিন্ন। অনেক সয়েছি আজ, বাঁধ ভেঙে হব ভাবছি দুর্গা, পরে ছিন্ন মস্তার সাজ। Because this is what happens when a girl is raped. This is what happens when you look down upon your colleague, your students, and this is what is happening in the country, in the rest of the world also. You have to take the girl student or your colleague as your friend, as your equal, and to sensitize like the mother-in-law or mother, we have to sensitize the men, because it is also the men who have to be equally involved in the Western countries. During childbirth, the mother goes through labor, the father sits there throughout the labor. We cannot even imagine. In India, it is sort of a taboo, I know. When a girl gets her monthly menstrual cycle, she sort of hides. She hides herself. Why? It's a normal physiological function which leads her to motherhood. So the boy should also respect that kind of time and be friendly, instead of taking the girl through a lot of trouble. অধিকার কেউ দেয় নাকি কখনো? ছিনিয়ে নিতে হয়। খাদ্য, শিক্ষা, সাম্য বা মান, শঙ্কা না পেয়ে ভয়। আজকে দিবস, we celebrate International Women's Day, only one day. আজকে দিবস, কালকে কি নয়? এটা কিরকম কথা? মানতে হলে রোজই মানো, ডিঙিয়ে সকল বাধা, বন্ধনহীন মুক্ত স্বাধীন জীবনের জয়গান। কে দেবে, কবে, কতটা, কখন? বসে থাকলে হয়? এসেছিলে যবে, এরা কি কেউ সাথে এনেছিল তবে? নিজের দুপায়ে দাঁড়াও শক্ত, মাথা উঁচু, মন স্থির, দুহাত দিয়ে লাঙল চালিয়ে অন্ন যোগাও বীর। নিজের মুখে অপরকে দাও ভাগ করে নাও বিশ্ব। জল, বায়ু, নদ, নদী, রৌদ্র, হাসি, কান্না, শৌর্য, দিক বা নাদিক পরোয়া করি না, আমি অবিচল ধৈর্য। অমলিন মন, দেহ, প্রাণ, আর আমি সৃষ্টি বীর্য। পৃথিবীতে তাই বারবার আসি শুধু তোমাদের জন্য, এগিয়ে যাব তুমি আর আমি, ছিনিয়ে আনবো সূর্য। The girls should say, ছিনিয়ে আনবো সূর্য। We should always be like this. There was a woman, I don't know whether you know about it or not, in Kerala, in Travancore. This is many, many decades ago. This was in the 18th century. The upper caste Hindus prevented women from covering their breasts. They had to remain without clothes in the upper part of the body. If they wanted to cover their upper part of the body, they had to pay breast tax. The Brahmins in the colonial times would come and assess your breast, the size, the look, by palpation, that is putting their hands, and then would determine if you are covering. I would see and I would ask for a tax, and then you pay me the tax. A lot of people don't know this. It's ridiculous. So one day, there's a girl called Nangeli. When they came to her house to take the tax, she was from Cherthala in Kerala. When they came for tax, she said, hang on, wait, I'm coming with the tax. Because she had her breast covered. She went inside, she took a sickle, by which we cut the rice, sickle, hesho. She chopped off her breast and gave it to this person. Take the tax. You want me that I don't cover, so I'm giving you my breast. She died due to bleeding. Her husband committed suicide. After that, Tipu Sultan did away with the breast tax. Mulakalam it was known as. So that was a woman. She fought. Chiniyan Bosurjo. After that, the breast tax was done away with. So all of us must fight, and this kind of mentality, this kind of sensitivity must be inculcated in our society. I hope your center performs that duty. Wish you all the best. Wish all of you very, very good Novoborsho. Namaskar. Thank you. Jai Hind.